Quest presents an unabridged recording of The Broken Cage by Sarah Painter, narrated by Kate Rawson. Chapter 1. The cast had come off Lydia's left forearm 2 weeks previously, and she was diligently doing her physical therapy exercises. Her broken nose had healed remarkably quickly, and she no longer frightened small children with her bruised face. It was a drizzly Thursday, and she was standing out on the terrace, cradling a hot coffee in her favourite mug and watching the steam rise in the grey London dawn. Fleet had slept at his own flat and would already be on his way to work. Jason was sitting on the sofa in the living room/office of the flat, glued to his beloved laptop. A street-sweeping vehicle was making its noisy way down the lane, which ran behind her building, its beeping joining the constant hum of traffic. A breeding pair of jackdaws were perched on the railing, preening each other with their beaks. Jackdaws were smaller than crows, the smallest corvids in the family, but Lydia had always had a soft spot for them. She raised her mug in greeting, and 2 sets of black eyes swivelled to gaze directly into hers. Lydia stopped herself before she inquired after their well-being. There were limits. Since throwing herself off a roof, killing her cousin Maddie in the process, Lydia had taken time off from crow investigations. Not so much because she wanted to, but because the rest of the world insisted. And while she would never have admitted as much, she had been in a fair amount of pain ever since the morphine drops from the hospital had run out. She pushed back the sleeve on her hoodie and inspected the pale skin of her arm. There was still the faint blue tinge of old bruising, although Lydia would be the first to admit that might just be the extremely pale colour of her normal skin, so white it was blue. Whatever. Her skin tone hadn't benefited from 4 weeks in a cast, but there were no visible signs of her broken ulna and radius, a compound fracture that the ortho guy had called unpleasant. It was fine that she had taken time to heal. She hadn't had a holiday in years and must have been owed the break. A couple of months of enforced inactivity had probably done her good. Okay. So she had felt like a caged bird and had spent every single night dreaming of flying, but whatever, she was fine. The jackdaws were sitting together, watching as Lydia drained the dregs of her coffee. As she turned away to go back inside...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?